I spent my whole day with the Irish, and I should have been spending it with the Iranians, but that's not, in a different sense. We're doing very well, I will say. We're knocking them for a loop. They can't have a nuclear weapon, and they now understand that very strongly. But we have a great country, and we have an unbelievable military. We have the most powerful military in the world, and people see that. And I rebuilt it in my first term, and I didn't know I'd have to use it so much in my second term. But the men and women of our military, I pay them my highest love and compliments. And we have a beautiful addition that's going to be added on very soon. You probably hear about it. Maybe not for next time, but by the second time, you're going to see one of the most beautiful ballrooms anywhere in the world. They've always wanted a ballroom at the White House, all the presidents, for 150 years, they say, or more. This is a beautiful room, but this is very small for, when you think about state dinners and the things that we do. So they put out a tent on the lawn, and if it rained, it was a problem. But it's a great place, and it's doing really well. We've never done better. We took a little bit of a journey, a little bit of an excursion over the last 2 weeks, because we thought we had to do something about very bad people that want to have nuclear weapons. We can't allow that. They would have had it. If we didn't send the B-2 bombers in, they would have had it. So we did a little excursion, and we're way ahead of schedule, as you probably noticed. And we've had, we knocked out their Navy, their Air Force, their anti-aircraft equipment, their radar, and their leaders. It's been amazing militarily, but it's something that had to be done. Unfortunately, I say, we don't do it with glee. Jameson, we have a $40 billion deficit with Ireland. $1 billion, we got to do something about it. But then I saw the deficit is $42 billion. So they're going to have to buy a lot of our energy, I think. And Senator Mark Wayne Mullin, who maybe is going to be moving over to a little bit of a different position soon. Nobody wants to fight. He's a tough cookie, Mark Wayne. He was a professional fighter. He's a brutal human being, but he's great. Now everyone loves him, and we respect him. Also, Representatives Steve Scalise, Brian Stile, Andy Biggs, Pat Fallon, Riley Moore, Ronnie Jackson, White House doctor, former White House doctor. I'll never forget, they said, who's the healthiest president? Because he covered Obama, he covered some others, I don't want to say who. And Trump, he said, by far Trump, there's nobody even close. He said, by far. Took a little heat for that, but that was okay. The biggest thing coming up is a Save America Act in the Senate. That's voter ID and proof of citizenship, and no mail-in ballots, corrupt mail-in ballots. We're the only country in the world that does it that way, corrupt as hell. And no transgender mutilization of our children, none. That's only polling at 98%, Speaker. So hopefully the Senate is going to be able to get that. I mean, who would not have voter ID? Who would not have proof of citizenship? And the only people who would want not to have that are people that want to cheat. It's very, very simple. We can't let that happen.
50 years ago, the people of the United States inspired the world with their determination to build a nation on the timeless ideals of liberty, democracy, and equality. For Irish people, both here and back home, these were noble ideals to which they rallied to in incredible numbers. Over a quarter of Washington's Continental Army were Irish. Among the brave and visionary leaders who signed the Declaration of Independence, 3 were born on the island of Ireland, and many others were of Irish descent. When they had finished their historic work on that warm, clear Philadelphia day, the text was rushed into the hands of another Irishman, John Dunlap, who printed the very first copies of the Declaration, which was spread across the world. Mr. President, the revolution that gave birth to this United States was a flare that lit up the world. It inspired those in Ireland who dreamed of our own republic. It gave strength to all who believed in the self-evident truths of your Declaration of Independence, that all of us, wherever we are in the world, are created equal, with rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That governments are created and draw their powers from the consent of the governed, and that it is our duty as leaders to secure the safety and happiness of the people. That it is the people, those who are governed, who hold the power. Ireland is now an island at peace, a place where politics, persuasion, and advocacy have taken the place of violence to achieve our aspirations. In Ireland, American companies thrive, innovate, and gain access to European Union and international markets. But that investment increasingly goes both ways. Ireland is the 5th largest source of foreign direct investment into the US, with investment by Irish companies valued at $390 billion US. Not bad for a country of just 5.5 million people. Irish companies have so many 737s on order that it would take the Boeing factory in Washington almost an entire year of working solely on Irish orders to deliver them all. It's true. Every day, hundreds of thousands of American men and women go to work in hundreds of Irish-owned companies across the 50 states of the Union. Irish investment is central to making the critical materials for American infrastructure and housing, the food that is served on American tables each night using produce from American farmers, the infrastructure that powers the AI revolution. Ireland is small. We need free and open trade to make our way in the world. And we like to see as few barriers and tariffs get in the way of that as possible. And we especially want to see progress and peace in the Middle East, as I know you do. And we also need a just and sustainable peace in Ukraine. Too many people are dying as a result of conflict across the world, and we owe it to them all to create a better future. We are in each other's DNA, in the founding ideals of our states and the values which secured our sovereignty. It is hard to imagine the United States without the contribution of the Irish, and Ireland without the friendship of the United States. Today, I will present this bowl of Shamrock in memory of all the brave Irish men and Irish women who came here and who believed in the American promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In tribute to all that they contributed and built here, and in celebration of all that we will do and achieve together in the next 250 years. Gorov Mila Mahagwith, Banachti Nofela